Sir, there is a tradition in this country. In fact, one of the prides of this country is the peaceful transition of power, and that no matter how hard fought a campaign is, that at the end of the campaign, that the loser concedes to the winner. Not saying that you're necessarily going to be the loser or the winner, but that the loser concedes to the winner and that the country comes together in part for the good of the country. Are you saying you're not prepared now to commit to that principle?
What I'm saying is that I will tell you at the time. I'll keep you in suspense.
Wow, that comment is getting so much attention this morning. Jason Miller is here, Trump's senior communications advisor, to talk about that and a lot of other topics from last night. Jason, good morning to you.
Good morning.
I know it was a short night last night. What was the intent on behalf of Mr. Trump to answer the question that way?
One quick note before I get into that. I'm not sure if you've seen this morning, Rasmussen has new polling numbers showing Mr. Trump has moved into a 43-40 lead nationally. So we feel very good from our end coming out of last night's debate. Now, last night with regard to the question just asked on the election, what Mr. Trump was doing was very simply making the case that he's putting on notice anyone looking to commit voter fraud or voting irregularities. It's important that we have strong integrity at the ballot box, that we have strong integrity in our elections, and that's simply what this was about. So when Mr. Trump, he talks about on the campaign trail the rigged system. This is something that he frequently brings up on the campaign trail. We talk about the inherent media bias that we see on the campaign trail. We see this rigged system that we see in Washington, the corridors of power.
And we've heard him talk about that a lot. But you did debate prep with him. Was that a planned response going into last night?
Well, that's his position. So that's what he firmly believes is that, look, think back to 2000. You don't have candidates go and concede an election before we even go and start voting. Or I guess folks have actually started voting early in a couple places, but until the votes are tallied and they're actually announced. Al Gore in 2000 concedes and then unconcedes and then concedes again. This is about voting integrity. This is about making sure that everyone has an opportunity to get their voice across by voting. That's what this is about. I think
Charles Krauthammer called it political suicide. What do you think about that?
Look, you see a lot of folks this morning, the media elites, falling into the hysterics. But what we think coming out of last night, what the American people saw, was one candidate came out and laid out a clear vision of why they should be president. We feel good. I think last night was Mr. Trump's best debate. Very strong performance, especially my personal favorite answer, his answer on the Supreme Court. I think that was he laid out a very clear case, a strong understanding of the Constitution, talking about Supreme Court justices, talking about the Second Amendment. And the other thing, too, that we did not see from Secretary Clinton, she had all this debate prep time. You brought up debate prep. All this debate prep time, she had no answer, none at all, for this role that her campaign, the DNC's had in inciting violence at our campaign events. We saw the tapes this week. She had a terrible answer on the Clinton Foundation. And so this is a change election. And as voters are walking in, it's pretty clear at this point that a vote for Hillary Clinton it's settling. It's a vote for the status quo. Mr. Trump offers a change. He has a positive vision. We feel good about how last
Two more points. She said the most important question of the evening is, will Donald Trump reject Russian espionage? His answer was, you don't know who's doing it.
Oh, but Bill, you got to give his full answer. He made very clearly that he rejects and repudiates any effort by anyone on the outside.
She has no idea whether it's Russia or not. Chris Wallace interjected after
in the full context of his quote, he made very clear. He rejects, repudiates, rebukes, any word you want to put in, any outside involvement in our elections. That's of course we reject that. But what Clinton doesn't want to talk about, what her campaign has really been loath to talk about, is what was being said in these emails that became public. The anti-Catholic bigotry, the very clear collusion between the FBI and the DOJ, the State Department and the Clinton Foundation, this whole rigged system and their campaign. This is why people are so frustrated. This is why they want to change.
You know, issue number one is the economy. And when Wallace went to that topic, what Trump did was he pivoted back to the whole negotiations with NATO, etc. And I was sitting there in the debate hall wondering, is that a missed opportunity? Now, he eventually came around to the final point where he said, we're going to start the engine rolling again. Did he miss a moment where he could have driven home his own economic message and essentially said to her, how many jobs have you created?
Well, and that's a good point. I mean, I don't think Hillary Clinton has ever created so much as a job at a lemonade stand. And she just fundamentally doesn't understand the
Did he
economy.
miss that moment?
I think he did a great job of laying out a good chunk of his vision. Obviously, you only have so much time in a debate. We have a very strong tax plan that we've laid out, especially reducing the business tax from 35 down to 15, so small businesses can grow and actually, like you said, ignite our economy, get it moving again. You always look at debates and say maybe there's something you could have talked a little bit longer about, but I think, look, he had a fantastic debate performance. In my opinion, his best of the three, and we feel good.
Final question. The handshake, the no handshake. Was that decided before the two walked out there? What was going to happen? Or were they playing off each other?
The Clinton camp didn't want to shake hands. And
Was that known prior to?
I don't know if that's how public that had been made, but the Clinton camp didn't want to shake hands. And look, when Hillary Clinton talks about the low road and the high road, their campaign has been running the low road from the beginning. And this is, it's really, I think it's a sad reflection of what they're willing to do to win this thing.
Appreciate you getting up early. Jason Miller with the Trump team. We'll see you back in New York and talk again. 19 more days.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jason.